And we are live here at the Bitcoin Energy Summit. Things are filling in here. Of course, Fernando and Robin always do an amazing job. Happy to be here in beautiful Miami. I have with me here Samuel Risberg. Tell me a little bit, Samuel, about what you're doing in the space and what brought you here to the Bitcoin Energy Summit.
Yeah, we started mining in 2017. We started out with GPUs only, just a couple GPUs in our warehouse. That moved to a couple hundred, then a couple thousand, and we did a Reg D raise, got a couple investors 2 years ago, and built a few farms. We've got a 5 megawatt, 24 megawatt, and we're in the process of building a 60 megawatt farm. Shameless plug, our 24 megawatt farm is for sale, so if anybody's interested. And yeah, we've been in Western Kentucky for a few years now and love the space, love the area. Originally in Florida, and we're just a couple different locations.
Amazing. So it's Soul Mining. Is that right? Soul Mining, S-O-L, Soul Mining. You guys have been around. We were just talking, I think we were on stage together at Mining Disrupt a couple years ago. Or even last year, whatever it was. They all blur together at the moment. So 2017, you've been in the space now for quite a while. What does that look like for you? When we had the big run up here recently, were you guys able to take advantage of that? I mean, how does it really work for the miners?
Yeah, no, I mean, the run up was great. Obviously, profitability was through the roof during that time, and a lot of nice dinners around that time. And then now it went down a little bit. Profitability is still there, but obviously not anywhere near where it used to be. But this is a cycle that we've been through before. 17, well, I guess starting in 18, it really hit a pretty big dip. And then the bull market started again in 1920. So this is just another cycle that Bitcoin's going to do every 4 years or so.
It is pretty amazing. I remember 2018, right, when it was crashing and like down to 3,500 or 3,400 or whatever it was. Yeah. 3,400, I started buying again. I'm like, this is the bottom because I'm buying again. It was just like a psychological thing. I think it was like that for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably like that again, around 14K, 15K for a lot of people here. There's a lot of external forces that, make the price of Bitcoin what it is. What are your thoughts on that? If you look at these macroeconomic forces that are happening right now, if I could shamelessly ask for a prediction.
I mean, in the short term, I'd say that, we might not, I think we've seen the bottom, I hope, fingers crossed, we've seen the bottom. But I think where we're at right now, these levels will probably sustain for a bit, maybe 6 months to a year, hopefully not longer, but it might be. But the closer we get to halvening, it's going to skyrocket. I mean, can't say for sure, but it's historically it has the last couple cycles. So the next halvening is March 2024. So usually about 6 to 8 months before then, that's when the run up starts again. So this summer, I guess, get ready.
Well, and there's just so much uncertainty out there with these fiat currencies. People are like, I'm out to dinner with guys that are, real estate investors and, working in law and all these types of things. And they're like, Bruce, tell us about the crypto market. Like, what do you think? And it's high risk, right? I mean, it could go to zero. I mean, that's what I always say.
It's possible.
Right.
Yeah, but
right. Realistically, you can say it could go to zero because it's not backed by some government, right? So that's, to frame it like that. But it is pretty interesting, how it's going. We have the war in Ukraine as well. I think all of these external forces are really pushing on that. How are you seeing it with the cost of the miners?
I mean, the war in Ukraine obviously increased the price of energy massively, and last summer was pretty rough for the natural gas industry. The price of the miners it's been pretty stable with the price of Bitcoin. So right now, it's not as low as it was, but at around 16K, miners were cheap. I mean, they were just giving away probably below cost. And now in the mid to high 20K range, they're back to what I think, some of these manufacturers probably paid for them or to produce them, but they produced them, in a time where they were selling them for 5 times more than it cost. So, I mean, it affects it, but I think price of Bitcoin is the main drive of the price of equipment.
So obviously you mine Bitcoin quite a bit. Can I ask you about some altcoins? Do you mine other altcoins? What are your thoughts on other altcoins?
Yeah, we actually started in 2017. We only mined Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. So
Okay.
We started with altcoins really.
Yeah.
Right now, we do still have GPUs online. We do a little bit of Ethereum Classic. We do Caspa, Ravencoin, and Grin right now. So those are some of the altcoins that we mine with. I definitely believe in Grin a lot. It's sort of like a Monero, but a little less. Not that Monero is nefarious or anything like that, but Monero is sort of the Silk Road way to spend your money, and Grin is more of a upfront. Hey, this is what crypto is trying to be and always has been, and this is the coin that will get us there. So
interesting.
If you want a coin that I believe in, Grin, and then another one would be Doggo, but that's only because I bought it at 0.0000003 cents.
Which one now?
Doggo, Dogggo.
Okay.
And hey, if that goes up to a cent, then I'm a billionaire.
It is funny, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when Doge started pumping, man, we were just jumping around, these old bags that we had forever, where all of a sudden worth so much money. And that's how it goes, that's currency, where it can really have these major influxes. So that's pretty interesting. Ravencoin's been around for a long time, huh?
Yeah. Ravencoin's been around. We've been GPU mining that on and off for the past 5 or 6 years. So, that's a great project as well. I mean, the platform and protocol has a lot of solid developers to it. So, I definitely believe in Ravencoin as well.
Very cool. So, where do you go from here? Are you doing some other conferences?
Yeah, we've done mining disrupts every year, actually, come to think of it, since the beginning. We had a booth the first year, then we were speakers in the second year, then moderators the third year. I think last year was the fourth, and that's when we were on a panel, I believe.
Yep.
Mining disrupt will go to, what is it, the Bitcoin 2023, I'm sure we'll do it.
Miami or whatever it is.
Yeah, so all the fun ones.
Yeah, that one's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Even overseas, everyone's already asking me, hey, are you doing that one? It was just such a big festival last time. I couldn't really believe how big it was. I was overseas at the time, in Dubai or something like that. So pretty interesting. Well, thank you so much for coming on. What's the website, social media? How do people find you guys?
Solminer, SOLMINER.io. You can see the sites we have for sale. We used to sell containers, don't really do that as much anymore, but we can host, we can build. We have a couple sites for sale, and you can find us all there.
Samuel, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
All righty.
See you soon.